Okay, so The Painted Girls is a book following two sisters' lives. So after their father's death, um, their lives are really up in the air and they don't know what to do because they don't have any money. Their mom's an alcoholic. They're getting evicted. And so they really need to kind of get in gear of where they want to go in life. So what happens is Marie goes to the Paris Opera and then through that becomes trained to be a ballerina. Antoinette decides to find work as an extra in a stage play. So they're both going towards these artistic, cultural paths. And what happens with them? So Marie puts everything into dance, becomes the best at it, and from this is soon modeling for Edward Degas, who is a famous painter and sculptor in real life. And she becomes the little dancer age 14 statue that he creates, this sculpture, which is actually real. So this is based on true stories. This girl who is age 14 that Degas made, this book follows the true story of her life. So on the other side, Antoinette meets this guy who's rebellious and who is dangerous, but she'll do anything for him. So she's fallen in love with this guy. And so it starts off with the two sisters together, but follows two different paths. So this is much like the one with The Other Side of the Bridge, in that instead of having two brothers and destiny taking them where they should go, it's two sisters. And it really thinks about the way that we have control over our own destiny, and if we do. It is based in Paris, and it's not a lovely romantic Paris. It focuses on the dirty, dingy sort of thing. So there's a lot of dark moments in this book. But the thing that I like about it is it does focus around historical events and has a lot of history to it. There's a lot of art history to it, which I really like. And it connects this idea of real and fictional characters, which I love. So, Monsieur Leblanc leans against the doorframe, his arms folded over a belly grown round on pork crackling. A button is missing from his waistcoat, pulled too tight for the threads to bear. Maman wrings her hands, laundress's hands, marked by chapped skin, raw knuckles. But Monsieur Leblanc, she says, we just put my dead husband in the ground. It's been 2 weeks, Madame Van Gotham. You said you needed 2 weeks. No sooner had Papa taken his last breath upon this earth than, same as now, Mr. Leblanc stood in the doorway of our lodging room, demanding the 3 months' rent Papa had fallen behind, in pain since getting sick. Maman drops to her knees, grasps the hem of Monsieur Leblanc's greatcoat. You cannot turn us out. My daughters, all 3 good girls. You would put them on the street? Take pity, I say, joining Maman at his feet. Yes, pity, said Charlotte, my younger sister, and I wince. She plays her part too well for a child not yet 8. Only Antoinette, the oldest of us 3, remains silent, defiant, chin held high, but then she is never afraid. Charlotte grasps one of Monsieur Leblanc's hands in both her own, kisses it, rests her cheek against its back. He sighs heavily, and it seems tiny Charlotte, adored by the pork butcher, the watchmaker, the crockery dealer, has saved us from the street. Seeing his face shift to soft, Maman says, "Take my ring," and she slips her wedding band from her finger. She presses it to her lips before placing it in Monsieur Leblanc's waiting hand. Then, with great drama, her palms fly to the spot of her chest just over her heart. Not wanting him to see in my eyes what I know about Maman's feelings for Papa, I turn my face away. When Papa mentioned he was a tailor, apprenticed to master as a boy, Maman said, "The only tailoring you ever done is stitching the overalls the men at the porcelain factory wear." Monsieur Leblanc closes his fingers around the ring. 2 more weeks, he says. "You'll pay up then." Or, a cart will haul off the sideboard handed down to Papa before he died, the table and the 3 rickety chairs the lodger before us left behind, the mattresses stuffed with wool, each handful worth £5 to a pawnbroker. Our lodging room will be empty, only 4 walls, grimy and soot-laden, deprived of a lick of whitewash, and there will be a new lock on the door. Of the 3 of us, only Antoinette is old enough to remember nights in the dingy stairwell, days and days the rustle of silk skirts passing by. She told me once how it was the other time when Papa sold his sewing machine to pay for a tiny white gown with crocheted lace, a small white coffin with a painting of 2 cherubs blowing horns, a priest to say mass. I am the namesake of a small dead child, Marie, or Marie the First, as I usually think of her. Before her 2nd birthday, she was rigid in her cradle, eyes fixed on what she could not see, and then I came, a gift, Maman said, to take her place.